Hi, my name is Samantha, and I'm going to be discussing why students should be living on campus. So, as a student at Cal State San Marcos, I lived on campus the first year, and this is probably the best way to accomplish being involved in school and making a lot of friends and having better connections as you graduate and get older. So Cal State San Marcos, there's two places to live. One being the Quad and the other being the UVA. The UVA was built first and the Quad was built second. So those are the only two places that are on campus, and there's a lot of off-campus living. But a lot of people do commute. So most people commute from Riverside, Temecula, San Diego, and the people closer are around like La Costa, Oceanside, and Encinitas. I believe that creating friendships like throughout college is one of the main reasons why students enjoy college and why they decide to stay at their four-year university. Specifically at Cal State, more students commute than not, and this is because the school is, the expenses are a lot, and it is roughly $1,000 a month to be living on campus, and to share a room it's about $800. According to Hayes and Oxay, two men studying student living, this becomes more of an issue than just living near school. This affects their social life, which in return affects their participation in school and willingness to be involved in classes and outside activities. Luke Timmons, who also studied student living at the University of Glasgow, found when examining friendships and networks, found that 84% of on-campus student friendship networks are made of other students compared to only 48% of commuter students. So for CSUSM students, the situation's been going on for about 25 years since the school opened. At this time, there was only one place to live, which was the UVA, and the Quad came, I'd say, 15 years afterwards. Timmons found that for other schools, this is a problem is very common, and it affects not only the commuters, but the students living on campus, because not everyone has the chance to interact and get to know each other. Indiana University of School of Education found that it is negative because the quality of friendships and the university life is not as strong, which in return makes students not want to participate. For those living off campus, it ends up decreasing the amount of friendships you make and the feeling of inclusiveness, which makes people not want to be involved and not really want to attend classes. Timmons found that they do not have diverse interaction and less contact with students and do not use the tools that schools provide, such as tutoring labs, writing labs, math labs, and cultural clubs and Greek life. They may feel left out and out of place and feel less motivated to want to interact with students. With that being said, studies have shown that while being a commuter, you are less likely to succeed in school than a non-commuter. So students that are commuters with off-campus jobs are 68% more likely to have lower levels of social functioning, mental health, and tended to have poor effects on student studying. And obviously, student studying is extremely important when you're in college. Since 70% of commuters do have a part-time job, the majority are not in a good place mentally, academically, and emotionally. Your friends in school could be going through a rough time and you wouldn't even know about it. Unfortunately, there are so many instances that people feel so out of place during college they feel like they need to drop out, and that shouldn't be the case. Whether or not you commute or you're on campus, you should feel like you are part of the school. If schools advertise fun activities and ways for people to want to live on campus, like midnight breakfast or fun bonding activities, this would encourage more kids to want to live on campus. Kristen Kutcher, a reporter who works for today's news, found that more events and social events, the more students would see more benefits on living on campus rather than at home. So a beneficial way to get more students to be living on campus is the price of living, because this is one of the main reasons why people do commute, because living at home is a lot cheaper than living on campus, but there are a lot of benefits to living on campus. So campus jobs should be easily accessible to students. This should be enticing for students who are debating whether or not to live on campus or live at home. I know a lot of people live at home because of financial situations. But on-campus jobs can sometimes be a part of a student's financial package in a form of a work job study, which basically means that while you're going to school, you're able to work, and they're very, very flexible with your schedule and just that kind of thing. Also, you can have FAFSA, which will help the eligibility for some type of aid. So that basically means that you're going to be getting money through the school to be able to go to school and not have that like heavy weight of be concerned if you do not have the money to live on campus and also be able to pay for school. Lindsay Mayfield and Julia Mayfield from the U.S. News says if these policies were put into place, more knowledge of opportunities for financial help, the more students will want to live on campus. So money will no longer be an issue. And since there are jobs on campus, these bosses are extremely like flexible with scheduling, which in return will allow students to have good grades and make money. So it's kind of a win-win situation. This will also benefit the educational aspect, which in return allows students to manage their time better and will have an easier time in school because they will have more time to work on school and use all their resources on campus, such as math lab and writing lab. Also, they can learn to collaborate with other students to learn team building skills. The amount of time they spend at school with better influences, the schoolwork and time management will be obviously better. With students living on campus, the more our school will thrive and the bigger our social scene at school would be. This would allow us to have more events, which would bring in more money for the school. Studies have shown through the Indiana University of Education, if there are more social life, that means that more students will be happy and want to interact with the other students. When students are happier, they're more positive, and the entire campus feels that in return. Some might say, what's the point of spending loads of money and living on campus when you can live at home? Well, staying at home is less expensive and will allow you to be less in debt after college. Also, the health aspects of living at home is that you will most likely not be gaining the freshman 15. And I know that's obviously a struggle for a lot of students. Because obviously you have a full kitchen at home, you have your parents to cook for you, and you're very dependent on other people and not on yourself. Most of the time, parents will let you live at home without paying rent, but if you do decide to go out on your own, you will have to pay for that, and that's always kind of a hesitation for most incoming college students. Still, the benefit of living on campus outweighs the cons. As for money, there are loans and scholarships that students can receive, which will help them with living costs and school. Another thing that most people don't know is dorms nowadays have full kitchens, full living rooms, and full bathrooms, basically like you are living at home. Groceries can be really, really expensive, but schools usually partner with grocery stores that are near the vicinity, so they have great coupons, great deals, and you're able to afford your groceries. Living at home might be cheaper, but exploring the real world is by living on campus and allowing you to get a glimpse of what real life is like. Because real life is about cooking for yourself and dealing with money and keeping your house clean. So also, the more knowledgeable you are about the help and assistance you can get through the school, the easier college experience will be for you. Advertising may seem pointless to some because they already have some sort of advertising at school. Usually you see small advertisements at school or handouts usually, but it will cost more money to add more billboard type signs around campus and on their website. But specifically at Cal State San Marcos has such a small amount of room for students on campus that it just might not seem necessary to advertise any more than they already do, because those two buildings are already filled with freshmen, but there are so many freshmen who don't get the chance to live on campus or feel like they don't want to because they're concerned about these types of things like money. And it says that with more advertising and just the right amount of space for the students who actually want to live on campus and not the ones who we're trying to persuade, but basically what we want to do is we want to persuade those students because there are so many more benefits than cons to living on campus. Dorm Room Advertising, who specializes in youth marketing, states that in reality, advertising is beneficial because college street teams can pass out door hangers, and door hangers are basically just advertisements that people hang on doors that will inform students about dorm life, costs of living, and the fun aspects of living on campus. This provides a great overlap between students who live on campus and those that reside off campus. It will allow more students to be aware of the positive aspects of living on campus. Information you need to know that most do not tell you. Living on campus will allow you to connect and have lifetime friends and great connections. And a lot of people don't notice that because they're only concerned about the money. And the money is not, or shouldn't be, the main concern, because there are ways to get help with that. The best way you can help on campus and be involved is probably being an orientation leader. And this would allow you to show students the most awesome experiences on campus, and it will be a fun experience to get to know these like new incoming freshmen or sophomores, juniors, seniors, because anyone can live on campus for as long as they are at Cal State San Marcos. An O-team leader, which is an orientation leader, you would be showing incoming students the dorms and campus life. You would give them a good look into their future school, and you could help ease their minds and their parents' mind about the cost of living. The more they know about campus, the more students will want to live on campus. And that basically concludes my paper. Thank you.